Scarlet Witch took my powers. We're gonna walk the witch's road to get it back.
The road is a death wish.
The bodies are really piling up.
Shall we?
Marvel Television's Agatha All Along, now streaming only on Disney+.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boy Petey. Say what's rocking, Petey.
What's going on?
Hey, today we're talking about Agatha All Along. I mean, that's what they're calling it now, but it was called something else before. We're talking about episode number 4. If I can't reach you, let my song teach you. And of course, these episodes are all based off this song, the Ballad of the Witch's Road. That's what they're calling it, basically.
Yeah.
So they have survived the first, the second, and third episodes. Now they're going to their next trial right now. And boy, is it a doozy. It's the 1970s. Right?
I only can give this episode, the last episode, I gave it all to Sashir for the outfit she had on. I can only give them credit for the outfits, the 70 outfits, because everyone looked good in the outfits, save the team. But everybody looked good in their outfits, even though the older woman looked like Liza Minnelli. You know, they kind of made her look way older than she's looking in the show. But
you're right.
But at the same time, I only can give them credit for the studio effect, the 70s studio effect, the outfits. For you young people out there, what's that? Oh man, I can't remember that country singer that wears the bell bottoms. The Heart Like a Truck girl. You should know her name. Anyway, I think I didn't like it. Still, these last 2 episodes still been very much escape room with magic, and they have to figure a way to get out of these situations. And it leads them to sing the song that the girl hates since she was young. So they sing the song. They have this bad monster that run out of money when they came up with this monster. It looked terrible. It was like,
was it supposed to be terrible? Was it supposed to be terrible?
No, I'm saying it's supposed to be scary, not look like it was a bad Halloween costume. But, so then you got anything to say about episode 4? No, because you hated it.
Well, first, number 1, the most important thing, Rio comes into the episode, right? Rio, they need a green witch, and they basically make a call for, and Rio shows up, you know? So I don't know if Rio's a witch or not. She's definitely somebody with powers. So now she's showing up with the coven, right? That's number 1. Number 2, Alice hated this song so much, not realizing that her mother gave her a tattoo to give her protection of the road. I think she knew she was going to go on the road eventually, you know? Mm-hmm. Number 3, we don't know if the mother is dead. We never saw the body. So the question is whether the mother really is dead. Keep talking about the mother, but they keep thinking it doesn't look. You know, when you talk, the way they talk about things is that they may or may, they may still be available or alive. Mm-hmm. They keep talking about Mrs. Hart, that she may still be alive. So that's a whole other issue there too. So I think at the very end, maybe we find that everybody's still alive from the road. But then again, Agatha killed all the people in her coven that came with her, or let them die. So again, we don't know what happened with Agatha's coven to begin with. Number 3, we find out, or number 4, that the teen, we had this whole issue with Rio, and they're talking about people's scars, and we saw the scar that Alice had, right, from the demon.
Yeah.
But we also thought everybody had the individual scars, but Rio literally says that her scar is someone that she loved, and of course she looks over at Agatha, and we know something was going on between these two. So Agatha, there's some type of
to make out, and that's when it goes left, because they say this is the gayest Marvel show ever. That's what actors say. I didn't say it. They asked them, and they said this is the gayest series yet.
But then Rio also tells her that the teen is not her son.
Yes.
This is something we do know. We've been talking about this. We've been postulating about this for the longest. Pause. Yeah. So the teen is definitely not her son, and we know this. But I think probably the last thing, probably the fifth thing, is that they never closed the hole that Rio came from. And so this plays an impact on the next episode, The Darkest Hour. Wake Thy Power. And why? Because who comes out? The Salem Seven. Wiccan.
So they have these long arguments, and then they say, or they realize that the Salem Seven's coming after them. So they had to make broomsticks. And they're like, hey, we don't want to make broomsticks because it's, they have a negative connotation. It's just like all this nonsense that's not hitting, they're not landing. But then they do this spell, right? And it seems like BS to make them things. And then what did those broomsticks become? They became speed races from Return of the Jedi. I was like, what is going on? I was like, they're in remember Luke and Leia on the speed racers? The speeder things?
Yeah.
It looked just like that because they were low to the ground. They weren't, then they take it up. But first thing, they're all like the way the land speeders go, close to the ground. And I was just like, yo, they're pulling from everything that they can pull from this story. It's like,
you're saying land speeders. I'm saying Harry Potter.
I'm saying, but Harry Potter kind of pushed them up into the, they would go in the air. This, they were doing the speeder, I think the speeder, what do they call them? The speeder, what's the names? Return of the Jedi. Because land speeder is the other thing. Speeder bikes. The speeder bikes. That wasn't the tree, because they weren't like a broomstick. They had all this body to it, but they had no kind of, regular form. So it was kind of like the speeder bikes that Luke and Leia were on the Ewok planet. So it was kind of, I just didn't like it. I think once they go into the air, everybody uses broomsticks. So you can't really take that from what's the name, because everybody, from Harry Potter, but the way they had it shot was too close to the Return of the Jedi for me. But it's I don't know.
Don't forget what happened, bro, on that episode. It was a big thing that happened.
What happened?
The Scarlet Witch son's powers come into fore, bro, at the very end.
Yeah.
When the witches are finally sick of Agatha because she's just been turning on them too many.
Know that's Scarlet Witch's son yet. We don't know this yet, right?
He has the little Scarlet Witch crown. Look, this is what I want to tell you what I'm having problems. Okay?
It's too easy for him to be a Scarlet Wiccan, to be Wiccan.
We don't have a problem, but you see,
William,
I don't understand the language, and probably this is the problem I'm having here. I don't understand language. Probably the wrong words are being used. So here, he's a guy, right? Yet they're calling him a witch, or he's going to be a witch. He has to be a wizard or a warlock. He cannot be a witch because a witch is a woman. The same thing like in the Thor, you have that chick Valkyrie is a king or whatever. You're not the king because there's a word, there's a queen. So I'm having a problem with these identifying nouns.
In the Americas, they kind of in the Americas, and I think in the folklore of the popes, they did call men witches when you practice witchcraft. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, only because it's in Hellboy. Since obviously I've seen the Hellboy movie, I was like, whoa, they're calling this guy a witch. And then I look in the comic book, he wasn't trying to be breakthrough by calling it. He's using, because all of his information is from the popes and the folklore. So I'm pretty sure there's some areas where they call men witches. So I had to give it a pass because when I was watching Hellboy, the movie, then I went back to the comic book, I was like, oh, wow. That's interesting. And they don't have anything revolutionary in Hellboy outside of Hellboy, working with priests and being in churches. That's the only thing that they break, only ground they break in Hellboy. So I'll just not being boned up on all of the folklore. I'm pretty sure Mignola is using that reference from there, and that's where they're using it. They might be using it as being a new thing or being progressive, but it also comes from possibly some folklore because everything that Mignola has used for Hellboy is from folklore. So I had to let that one go.
I'm not letting it go. I'm sorry.
The wizard or
warlock or wizard or
we're saying that, but at the same time, I don't know. In America, they might
and I was saying originally, Coven should only be women, but Pyle let that one go. But if it's the witch's road, he's not a witch, so what the hell is he doing there?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just having a problem with that in and of itself. And that, come on, man. You know what? Even if you're just making things confusing for everybody, all right?
I think a wizard is something different, though, right? Someone who practices witchcraft, or even, I mean, Agatha's son was a warlock, so I think that's so yeah, so he definitely was a warlock. So that's what he definitely is, and that would put that into contention that men who practice what's the name should be called warlocks, but at the same time, expecting a lot from the gayest show on the Marvel Universe. I didn't come up with that. The interviewers and Aubrey Plaza mentioned that. So, and what's the name? You had a little girl checking out a naked woman, and she was like, "Ooh," where usually the girls are like, "That's nasty." they get all indignant about it, but anyway.
And you're gonna lose a lot of the mainstream audience that way, Well, I don't know. Probably I'm wrong. So who? Probably I'm wrong.
It's hurt. They say it's hurting. We can go.
I don't know.
You can say it's hurting. So, but so that's it. Are we covered? Sorry. Are we covered on this one?
Huh?
Are we covered on this one?
Yeah, I think we're done.
Okay. All right then. Can't recommend it. I think the performers are doing their best with the material they have. I think this is my assessment of the Marvel stuff. The performers are doing the best they have. The actresses, obviously Aubrey Plaza, the lead. Everybody is out there doing their best. I think the material needs to be better. So
this is what they said. So I want, according to, they're saying that Agatha all along had 9.3 million viewers in the first 7 days. It became available on streaming, while Penguin had 5.3 in the first 4 days.
So you're saying that
Penguin is only restricted to U.S., while Agatha's viewership is global. So I don't know.
Okay, so you're saying that.
So now I have another thing from Reddit that they're claiming that now Penguin had 10.4 million altogether versus Agatha's 9.3.
So now we're going back and forth.
So I think.
Which one do we go with? Which one are you going with?
I'm going with the 10.4 for the Penguin.
There we go. All right, so that's it. The talent, we're not going to get these talented people in one place, so we have to stick it out to episode 9 to see how it goes. But storytelling, in my mind, is a little
people are dying off. Alice died, right? So people are dying off.
Well, they want to still have the Final Destination escape room where somebody still dies, even though they don't die in the room. They die at some point. Like they don't. They're like, all right, we escaped the room, but then somebody dies. Oh, such and such died. It's like it's really ridiculous. So.
Yeah.
And then they have the fake of being upset. So if we keep talking, I'll keep complaining. Spinner rack.
Out.
Out.